Hello, everyone, and welcome back to LeagueWatch, the show where we talk about everything hockey. My name is Ryan, and I'm here with Jack, and today's show will be mainly focused on the upcoming World Junior Championships in Minnesota in a few weeks. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
I might get your song played on the radio station.
CMRU.ca. By students for you.
Alrighty, so jumping into talking about the World Juniors here, we have a bit of a special announcement with the two of us here that we are going to be hosting some live watch parties on YouTube.
Yeah.
The game schedule for that, we don't know exactly what games we're going to be doing together, if we're going to do games separate or what just yet. So keep your eyes tuned to our social media for that announcement. In the next week and a half or so, we haven't decided which games just yet. And so the training camp for Team Canada, we were really hoping will be out for this final show of
so unlucky.
the semester
So
because the States one came out a while ago. It came out at the start of the week.
Yeah.
So we were really, really hoping that we would get Team Canada's one so then we could talk about that and have a bit more of a projected roster idea. But unfortunately, we don't. I would expect that to come out in the next couple days, most likely Sunday
I think
or
they said
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday
Yeah.
would be my best
I
guess.
think they announced on Monday because they're not doing it's weird. They're not doing a camp anymore. It's sort
Right.
of just a roster selection. And those are the guys that are gonna play. I don't think they're doing cuts this year.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, so
All right.
when
Sweet.
it gets announced on Monday, those are the guys that'll be there on Boxing Day.
Awesome. Yeah. So games start for World Juniors on December 26th. So Team Canada's schedule, we play Czechia on the 26th, Latvia on the 27th, Denmark on the 29th, and Finland on 31st. All those times and game schedule and whatnot, that is already up on our Instagram as
Yeah,
well.
go check that out. Go
I think-
it. Go comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Share it.
Yes, exactly. So we posted I believe it was the big four. So you got your Team Canada, Team USA, Sweden, and Finland.
Right.
All those schedules are posted up on our Instagram right now. So if you're interested in teams that aren't just Team Canada, go check that one on out. So we have made our line predictions, which has been honestly easier than I thought, but also quite difficult just because we don't have that roster and we've
Yeah.
just kind of had to go off of our own projected rosters as well as other professional analysts' professional or predicted rosters.
Yep.
I know I personally looked quite a bit at Daily Faceoff,
Yeah, I looked at
going
theirs.
back and forth.
I
That was
did,
kind of
yeah.
my base, but then of course I changed it all up as well. So the way we're going to do this is Jack, you're going to say your first line prediction. This is all for Team Canada, by the way. We're just doing
We're
Team
only doing
Canada.
Canada. We wouldn't have time to do every team. That'd be
No,
that
and
would
I don't
take
think
2 shows.
Yeah, exactly. So then we'll do our first forward line and then move down to the second line. We'll just keep going back and forth. So we'll do forwards, defensemen, and then all 3 goalies as well.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
Jack, why don't
let's
you
get
start us off?
started. Yeah, so when I was making this roster, I actually thought it was quite difficult for a few reasons. I think also something we should say, we're kind of assuming all the realistic guys that could get loaned
Yes.
are going to get loaned. So obviously, Celebrini's eligible, but we don't have him. He's not going to go. Same thing with Schaefer. Same thing with Kindle. Those guys aren't going. I'm sure I'm missing a few names.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
we did include guys that are kind of on the fringe, and I'll mention a guy that we'll talk about because there was some news about him that he might not play now, and he's on our roster, but it's okay. So, and it's also just so deep. Canada's so deep that there's so many guys. Some guys I have not on the roster, and it's they could be on so many other rosters, right? And it's also, it comes down to some of these guys that probably won't get loans that we have on our teams. So some of these guys that I have in my snubs, because I do have a little snubs tab,
Oh, yeah.
some of those guys might make the team. But anyway, starting with my first line, going left wing to right wing, I have Gavin McKenna, first line left winger. My first line center is Michael Misa, and my first line right winger is Porter Martone. So I think that these are kind of the best players in each of those selections that Canada could have. That's the best left winger Canada could have. That's the best centerman. That's the best right winger in my opinion. And I think those guys would work really well together. McKenna and Martone played together in the U18s. I remember a couple years back when they won gold against US. That was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
And they had amazing chemistry. So now that they're a year older now this year too, they have McKenna was pretty elevated last year, but Martone was a healthy scratch at points last year. This year, he's going to be one of the go-to guys. McKenna is
Yeah, for
the
sure.
first line guys, first line power play. and Misa didn't get to play last year, and if he gets loaned, that'd be awesome for Canada. And I think they'll work really well together.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. So my first line is actually slightly different than yours.
That's
I
awesome.
kind of
I like
expected,
that.
yeah, it's good for content-wise.
It is.
So I've gone Gavin McKenna, left wing to right wing, as that's just what we're going to do throughout the whole show. So we don't need to explain it every single line. So starting on left wing, Gavin McKenna. That's kind of a no-brainer, I think. McKenna, of course, projected to be the number 1 overall draft pick going into next year. That's not a shock, I think. I think pretty much everyone will have him up on that first line.
Yep.
Center is where we have our first difference, and I've gone Berkeley Catton.
Yeah.
I think...
And that's the guy I was talking about. We just
exactly
got news that apparently it's highly unlikely he won't get loaned, which is weird, but...
Yeah, I think for me, at least, I think that's a little bit of a weird one, just because he's been in and out of that Seattle roster over there, and I just don't see why... Like, I don't get the point of keeping him... Like, 'cause I just feel like it would just help his development to go and play on a team.
Where
Seattle's
go-to guys, right?
Yeah, and I feel like Seattle's definitely been a decent team this year. They haven't been as bad as in past years, but they don't quite have the same winning culture, and they haven't been in the league long enough to have that huge winning culture that Team Canada has as a whole. So I feel like we're going to have this exact same conversation later on, talking about a certain Zane Parekh as well, and why he was loaned. But we'll get to that later when we get to our defense predictions as well. And then right wing, I've gone the same. I've gone Porter Martone, I think.
Yeah.
Same.
Again, he's kind of the slotted in like top line right winger. Like he's killing it at where's he playing? Michigan is it Michigan State? I think it's Michigan State.
Let me have a look.
I just don't want to get it wrong because I don't want to get flamed. I know it's Michigan. I just can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's Michigan State.
Yeah, let me have a look. He's playing, MSU. It's Michigan State.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so, that's the top line, I think.
Yeah, I think both of ours will be quite solid, whether it goes either way, with Misa or Catton at center. I think both will be solid. I think McKenna and Martone is a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. Playing top line, like... Even if they aren't playing top line for whatever reason, they'll be playing together. I think that's a no-brainer. They got such good chemistry. So
I think the center position is probably the hardest to predict too, because the guys that we have at center would need to be loaned to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's the first line. But I guess going on to the second line here, I have again left to right. I have Tija Ginla, then Berkeley Catton, and then Michael Hage. So Ginla has been killing it since he got back from injury in the WHL. He's been unbelievable there. He's obviously going to make the team. Like, he's a big power forward guy.
Yeah.
And then Catton, sort of like the smaller centerman, like you said. It would be amazing if he could get loaned. Obviously, not looking like it, but Catton would be great there. And then Hage has been killing it too at Michigan as well. And, he's a centerman too. And I was kind of thinking... of maybe putting him on my third line center, but then I'm like... I feel like he's the guy that needs to be in the top 6, and really, if you wanted to, in hindsight, if this was the team, you could move Hage to the center and put Catton on the wing if you want.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I just put Hage on the right side because he's a right shot. So
yeah, for sure. Do you want to repeat those 3 again?
Yeah, really Tija Ginla, and Berkeley Catton, and then Michael Hage.
All right. So I have a completely different second line.
Okay.
So once again, big differences for us. And I think that's one of the main things that you will find with World Juniors comparing to, the NHL or something of an Olympic roster as well with these projections, is that our predictions will be different for World Juniors because
there's so many guys, right? And
and a lot of these guys still have these question marks as well. I mean, maybe not Gavin McKenna and Porter Martone, but I think... just because it's so much more movable, I find, with World Juniors than something like an Olympic roster. Anyway, so my second line left wing is Liam Greentree.
Okay, nice.
So a bit of a sleeper pick, I think. Not a ton of people talk about him, but I think he'd be a good fit up there. Center, of course, I've gone Michael Misa. If he's not on the first line, he'll be second line for sure. And then Braden Coots from Vancouver.
Nice, yeah.
So second line right wing.
He's been killing it since he got sent back down to the WHL. He's been good, so.
Yeah, no, he was a great pickup, of course. I wanted him out here in Calgary with our first round pick this year, but we didn't. So is what it is. Vancouver stole him right before us, which is fine. If there's any other team that I want to have him, it would be Vancouver.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. So going on now to the bottom 6. So starting on third line. My third line left winger, this is where I have Liam Greentree. So I have Greentree here. And then I have Caleb Desnoyers as my third line centerman, sorry. And then on my right side, I have Jake O'Brien.
Oh,
So this is kind of where I picked. Like, I wanted Denoy. I feel like Denoy is the perfect third line center. Like, he's a speedy and he's known for his like two-way game. So I'm like, perfect third line center. Put him right there. And then you got Greentree, another big body sort of guy, sort of like a Ginla, sort of like Mark Twain. I tried to have like one of those like bigger body power forward-esque guys on each of the lines.
Yeah.
And then O'Brien, he's also a pretty big dude. I'm pretty sure he's like 6'5" or something.
No, he's huge.
And he's a flashy offensive guy. Like, he's been killing it in the OHL this year. I think he's going to make the team. I just think some of these guys in the top 6 are a little bit better than him.
Yeah.
So that's where I have him the third line. So you're still getting a lot of offense, but I think it will be a good two-way line that you could pair up against any other team's top lines to sort of shut them down.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely a solid line as well. And once again, I think especially with our bottom 6, they are going to be really different. And this is definitely where I've gone off of kind of this base projection that I looked off Daily Faceoff. I've gotten Martin left wing, Haig center, and Iginla right wing.
Okay.
So Iginla, I think Iginla and Coots are going to be interesting to watch because I feel like they definitely have the potential to play that right wing on first or second and third line.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are going to be interesting because I feel like they're two somewhat similar players. I think Iginla's got a little bit more experience, so he could potentially get that top, in that second line over Coots just to start. But I think those two are two that could be swapped quite easily as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Out of anyone. All right, fourth line. Let's hear it.
Fourth line. Okay, so this is where I had troubles like with my left winger especially.
Yeah.
I kind of had my right winger and my centerman pretty slotted in, but I'm like, oh man, like I have so many guys that I'm snubbing right now. But I have Justin Carbonneau.
Oh yeah.
So the reason I put him there is obviously he's a great player, but I feel like Canada always wants to have at least one guy from the QMJHL.
Right.
Like, they always want one Q guy, and spoiler alert, that's like the only guy from the Q I have on the team. So I'm like, they're gonna have one, so I just assume he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
If he's not, though, that wouldn't surprise me. But he still is a good player, so I have him there at my fourth line left wing, and then at center I have Brady Martin, and then my right winger is Jet Luchenko. So this is a very like physical two-way line, like a really grindy line. But again, obviously they still have offense. Like, we know what Martin is. Like, he's like,
for
people
sure.
call him like the Sam Bennett 2.0. So
Yeah.
he can sort of just be a spark plug there on the fourth line. And then Luchenko played last year, and he's not like the highest offensive ceiling guy, but he's sort of that like. He sort of is similar to Denoy with maybe a bit less offense. Like, he's a really good defensive guy. So I thought, why not just pop him there on the right side at the bottom line? Because a lot of the times returnees do return, I find.
Yeah,
so
for sure. So going on to my fourth line, this is the guy who we took when Brandon Coots was taken, and it's a little bit of a sleeper. I got Cole Reschny.
Dude, I did
Calgary
think about
Flames
putting him there
prospect.
too. I did think about that.
I think he's been decent for sure. He's been quite solid. He's nasty. I think he'll be a good fourth liner for sure, but fringe. I think it's gonna be kind of 50-50 if he's on there. This is more one of the picks I have that's just kind of out there. Not just to be different, but I do believe that Cole Reschny would be a great addition to this roster in many different ways. But of course, yes, once again, I am snubbing quite a few players by putting them there. Center, I've got Luchenko. I don't think that's a huge shock. We both have him in our rosters. Not a huge.
He's probably going to be
not a huge
there,
surprise.
Right? Like, reliable guy.
Yeah, he will be there. He'll probably bounce between third and fourth line, I guess, as well. And then right wing, another bit of a shock, Roger McQueen.
Yeah, dude, that's a guy, like, I want to talk about in a minute here. I have him snubbed, and it's like, I could see him playing, but I don't know. Like, I feel like he's sort of like a top 6 guy, but again, like, he hasn't been like amazing at college, so that's kind of why I just didn't have him there. And I feel like what Canada is going to do, especially with like the bottom 6, is they want like really good two-way guys.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of why I snubbed him, unfortunately. I'd love to have him there, but
yeah, I could definitely, I think it's going to be kind of 50-50. I think he could, because I feel like World Juniors is a place where he can go and turn it around, too, and really bring back his season as well.
I actually hope he does make the team, but
I
just don't see how he does. Unless, this is kind of where it comes in. If Catton doesn't get loaned, then, I could see McQueen maybe slotting it as that, like, legit second-line centerman. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Kind of going back to Reschny, though, I kind of just wanted to talk about him a little bit. Like, I at first I had him on my instead of Carbonneau, I was like, oh, I'll put Reshny there. And I was kind of thinking, I feel like I said before, Canada's going to want to go bigger.
Yeah.
And he's not the biggest guy. And Carbonneau's a pretty big guy. So that's kind of where I made the switch.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point as well. Do you want to go over your snubbed list for your forwards?
Yeah, sure. So for snubs, I have Cole Reshny, obviously.
Yeah.
Again, all these guys could potentially make it, especially if some of these guys don't get loans. And I have Caden Lindstrom, too, who was 4th overall pick last year, the 2024 draft.
Yeah.
And he has not been good at college. Like, he has not been playing good. So I think that's honestly the reason I didn't have him on the team, is just because he legitimately has not been good enough to make the team, which is sad to say because I really like him as a prospect.
Yeah, for sure.
And then McQueen, like I said, and then I have Coots too as a snub, just because I think some of these other guys I just like a little bit more than Coots.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm pretty much the same. I got Lindstrom and Carbonneau as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Carbonneau's going to be one of those players who could go potentially and then just be kind of in and out.
Yeah.
Even potentially with Roger McQueen too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. Defense, what do you have?
Okay, so my first pairing, I have Dickinson Perek. So Dickinson is a guy too where he legit might not get loaned. It's kind of 50-50 at this point. He has played a little bit more consistently than obviously Misa, but Misa's been injured.
Right.
So I'm honestly not super confident he's gonna get loaned, but if he does, he's gonna be like that top left shot defenseman. And then obviously Perek is like slotted as that top right shot defenseman. Like he already got loaned.
Yeah.
So we know he's on the team.
For sure. I think Zane Perek is going to be a no doubter on that right wing, or not right wing, but right defense slot. I got Veerhoff line one on left, and then Perek on right. I think this could be a solid choice. I think if Dickinson does go, he will be that. Now that I think about it, I haven't even put Dickinson on my list, to be completely honest, just because I don't think he's going to be loaned overall.
Veerhoff, that would actually be a pretty good pairing too, just because Veerhoff's like sort of that bigger body.
Yeah, exactly. And Zane's not a huge guy. Like, if you look at a defenseman build, if your ideal defenseman build, Zane is not that build. No. But he's a solid offensive defenseman for sure. Exactly. He's built to be that guy to, take that, to rip a 1-T or whatever, just wicked wrist shot from the point, from the blue line even, or just setting up someone else.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Perek play. Like, he's gonna be the first line power play.
Yeah,
like I just want to see him create offense and like just boost the confidence. Like we've talked about on last shows, like he hasn't been like deployed the best with the Flames.
Yeah,
and, this will just be like a really good confidence booster for him to just be able to like be that guy, be the number one go-to guy, and hopefully rack up some points. Hopefully come back with a gold, and then maybe he finishes off the season nicely with Calgary.
Yeah, no, for sure. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay, so then moving on to my second pair, I have Kayshawn Aitchison, and then this is where I have Brunek.
Oh, yeah.
Brunek, yeah. So Aitchison is like he's a big boy that likes to hit. He throws the hits around.
100%.
And then Brunek is he's a really good two-way guy. So I think this is just a good, stable second pair that's going to munch minutes for you, going to be able to shut down other teams' top lines. Maybe not the most offensive pairing, but they're going to get the job done.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I got the exact same line of Aitchison and Brunek, but I think we kind of have the same thinking here. It's probably going to be a solid defensive line, not a ton of offense from it. But for me, my offense is on my third line. Yeah. So let's get to that.
Okay, and then this is where I have Ben Danford as my left shot, and then this is where I have Keaton Verhoff.
Oh, yeah.
Verhoff on my
interesting
third
line
pair, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because that is a ways down for sure. He won't get as many minutes. Yeah. So the defensive pairings are going to be interesting because I feel like there's so many good defensemen we could bring.
There is, yeah.
And I feel like there's one that you are missing as well that I have in.
Yeah, I have him in my snubs.
Big name. Yeah. And of course, I don't have Dickinson in either. So my left defenseman, and this is the big names, Landon DuPont. I don't know, because I feel like he hasn't had the greatest season this year.
That's what I mean.
Of course, he's projected to go first overall, not this coming draft, but the draft after that, which is still a ways out, so there is time for that to change. But he's got a whole bunch of pressure on him, and I think recently, especially this season, he's got a whole bunch of people saying that, oh yeah, he's not living up to expectations. He's kind of hit his peak already.
Yeah.
But I think if he goes to World Juniors and he plays solid minutes, that could be the point where he turns it around and proves everyone wrong.
Exactly.
And for me, I love that story, so I'm going to go Landon Dupont for sure.
Yeah.
And then right defense, Villeneuve.
Nice.
I think
Okay.
bit of a sleeper pick again. You didn't choose him. I think it could be solid. If he plays with Dupont, this could be a really solid line. I think that's going to be our offense for sure. Minus Perek on the first line as well. If you wanted full offense, you put Dupont and Perek, which would not work. I don't
Probably
think
not.
at
No,
all.
especially because they're both right shots. So.
Yeah, exactly. That would never work. But I think Dupont and Villeneuve will be quite decent.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too. We built our third pairings quite differently. Like I went pretty like stay at home. Like Ben Danford is just a legitimate stay at home. Like you're like Luke Shen kind of defenseman. And then Verhoff is I just put him there because he is younger. Like he's the same draft year as McKenna. Like he's a 2026 guy. So this is his draft year. He's undrafted, so he's a bit younger. And I think usually with a lot of these younger guys, they're not really, unless they're like generational, they're not that high up in the lineup. And Verhoff is that kind of defenseman that can play that third pairing kind of defenseman game.
Yeah.
So that's just why I have him down there. And I think he will be sheltered a little bit, but like next year is probably the year where he'll get like the shine.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah.
And then for my snubs, I have. This is where I have Chase Reed. Obviously, any of these guys I think could come in, especially if like Dickinson doesn't go. But yeah, I have Chase Reed, and then I have DuPont. I just think because the defense is so deep, and he hasn't been the best this year, some of these older guys are probably just gonna leapfrog him, unfortunately. And then I also have Jackson Smith.
Yeah.
He's been solid. He's playing at Penn State. I don't really know what his stat lines are right now, but again, I think just some of these guys are a little bit better and just like fit certain roles a little bit better than him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got Dickinson, Danford, and Reed as well. Okay. So pretty similar snub lists minus Dickinson, and then of course DuPont for myself. Goalies, I'm guessing we're probably
they're kind of
starter and backup. We're probably gonna have the same. But may as well talk about it.
So I have obviously Carter George as the starter, and then I have Ivan Kovic there, and then I have Ravensburgen. So it's gonna be between like for the backup Ivan Kovic and Ravensburgen. I don't really know. They're probably gonna, assess it out in the preliminary and stuff like that. But obviously George is the starter.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think Carter George, of course, I hyped him up a lot in the last show.
Yeah.
And I just have so much trust in Carter George to help back this team.
No, me too.
And make a whole bunch of big saves and lead us, because I do think we have a solid team to go and make a push for the gold medal this year, which I think should be the expectation every single year with Team Canada and especially Team USA. But I feel like this year, compared to looking at the last 2 years and how that's gone, I think we got a much better depth team. I think all the way back and not just the top six for sure.
And I love our goaltending too. It's this genuinely might be the best goaltending crop in the entire tournament, which is so good for Canada too, because obviously we've kind of had that's probably been our biggest weakness as a nation is goaltending. So if some of these guys could turn out the NHL level too and be star goaltenders for the Olympics, that would be 100%. Awesome. So and then Ivan Kovic and Ravensburgen too, they're younger, so they're gonna be here next year as well. Yeah. So it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. For goaltenders, I only have one difference, and that's the third string. So I got Carter George as the starter, Ivan Kovic as the backup, and then Beckman as the third string. I think we do have quite a few goalies with talent, which is not something we're used to saying as Canadians at World Juniors. But I think we got a solid chance this year. I think whether it's Beckman or not, I think he'll be solid. But I think if Beckman does go, he will be set in stone as the third string.
Yeah, probably.
For sure. Maybe one game in the preliminary, I'm going to look back at my notes on the games. Maybe, I don't know, Latvia or something like that.
I don't even know.
Latvia or Denmark even.
Is it even common for them to play three goaltenders? I feel like there's usually...
Yeah.
They're mostly just there for injuries, I find.
Yeah, generally that would be what you expect as well, I think. So, so now moving on to our two favorite World Junior Championship moments from the past 2 years. This is from any team, not just Team Canada.
Yeah.
I know I've chosen both Team Canada moments. Though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've chosen both Team Canada.
Yeah, I really hope we haven't chosen the same thing, because that would be really anticlimactic.
No, I know one of mine is different. Okay. I want it to be a bit different with it. But I'll start off with the one that I know we both have is the Bedard kind of OT goal when he did the heartbreaker celly. That was one hell of a game. That I just remember I was watching the highlights for it last week or something, and there's just so much going on in that game. Just it was super chippy.
Yeah.
Bedard was getting like, he was getting roughed up throughout that game.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
you could tell he was
for sure.
pissed. Like he had a few moments in OT too, where he had some wicked shots that almost went in. He's like slamming his stick against the boards, and then he gets back on and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna do this all myself. And he just walked in and just undressed their entire team and the goaltender.
Yeah.
To send us, was that to send us to the?
That was the gold medal game.
No, I don't
believe.
think that was the gold
it?
medal.
I'm pretty sure it was. Oh no, it wasn't. It was to go to the gold medal game.
Was
Wasn't
it to go?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was. Yeah, that was such a great moment, and that's the reason I have that as my top as well. Also, just kind of recency bias as well, maybe, especially for me. I mean, I've always been a hockey fan, but I've only been like really paying attention to it and like consistently watching World Juniors for like the last 5-7 years, maybe. So definitely a bit of recency bias for me too.
Yeah.
I think.
No, yeah. And then for my second moment, it was back in the 2020. I think was it the 2020? I think it was the 2020 World Juniors, and it was when we had Barrett Hayton as the captain.
Right.
And dude, he had a broken hand, I remember.
Yeah.
And he scored, and he played in the game or something, and he scored a goal to like, I think, tie the game with like 3 minutes left.
Right.
And it was unbelievable because he's the captain, like he was the go-to guy, and he had a broken hand and he played, and then he scored the tying goal with like 5 minutes left. And I remember it was just so sick. And I think that was the first World Juniors where I really started to pay attention, and that moment like just made me like fall in love with the tournament. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so sick.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, I think, just because it really got me into the World Juniors. I think that's probably my favorite moment that I've had watching the tournament.
Yeah.
Other than like Bedard, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Bedard was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I would say my second favorite moment from World Juniors, also once again recency bias, was 2022, the McTavish overtime save.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was incredible. That was a gold medal game. Like everyone thought it was in. Like my whole house was just defeated. We all thought it was in, and then that was a phenomenal spot from the ref as well. Because I rewatched that this morning. That whole overtime. The ref that's on the goal line, essentially, like, phenomenal call, because realistically, I think a lot of refs would note that was in, because it looked like it was in, especially from the TV angle as well.
Would have had to done a review and whatnot, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it would have turned it over, but it would have completely killed the momentum, and that momentum is what won Canada the game.
Exactly, right.
In that year as well, because I don't remember if it was the next drive or the drive after that, but we had carried that momentum from the save, the whole building behind us, because everyone thought it was over, and we get this incredible second chance by Mason McTavish.
Yeah. And he's the captain too. Like,
yeah,
when
exactly.
When these captains make big plays, it's just so exciting.
It's so electric. Yeah, I love it. And of course, is it 3-on-3 overtime? It is in World Juniors. Yeah. So the full 20-minute 3-on-3 overtime.
It's just awesome.
Is so good. I love it. So I've always said 3-on-3 overtime is the best thing to ever happen to hockey. Just because it's so electric. It's nonstop. Like, there's not a ton of whistles. I've been saying for quite a while the NHL should up their 3-on-3 overtime to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Like, I was watching the Dallas game when we went to OT with them. I think it was like a couple Saturdays ago. Yeah. And I was saying to my buddy, I'm like, I just wish this was 10 minutes.
Yeah, like, no, 5 minutes just isn't enough. Because realistically, you're getting 2 lines out there. If you get a whole 10 minutes, you're getting 4 lines. Like, there's no way you're just swapping back and forth.
Exactly, right.
It's just such a good part of the game, and I absolutely love it.
No.
And I really hope, like, because I was talking about it earlier as well with one of my roommates, and he was saying that he loves it, but he also, and I agree with him, that the NHL playoffs should be 5-on-5 still.
Oh, yeah.
But 20 minutes.
For sure.
I agree, just because, and I feel like this is one of the reasons why they do 3-on-3 in World Juniors, is the thing is with the NHL, they're less worried about time when it comes to playoffs, like time of game.
Yeah.
They don't care if it goes to 4 overtime periods. I'm sure they do because they're there late.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter quite as much, whereas with World Juniors, like, they kind of have their time period that they have the arena.
Yeah.
Whereas with the NHL does have a lot more money because they are a bigger league than the IHF. But I think they're going to be a lot more hard on the IHF, who's coming into just these different arenas and whatnot around the world on this on this overtime period and how much time they actually have the arena for. And especially if there's games after that in the same arena on the same day, they got to flip it and whatnot and get all that stuff done. So I think the time constraint is one of the main reasons why it is 3-on-3 and not 5-on-5.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it.
And I think too, like you said, because it's a tournament, like they don't really want games to end in shootouts.
Yeah.
So it makes sense like why they're trying to find that like that middle ground between like not having like a 5-on-5 like super long OT, but also not having a tournament end in a shootout. So like they kind of found like the perfect middle ground with like just a 10-minute 3-on-3, because like it's like someone's gonna score, especially when you're having like a best on best.
Yeah.
And there's all the offensive talent. If they have like 10 minutes with 3-on-3, like somebody's gonna score. It's like pretty rare that it would ever go to a shootout. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the other many things I love about the World Juniors as well. It's just so entertaining.
oh, I know,
find,
right?
as
Like
well.
all the young guys, just so much skill. That's
Yeah.
what makes it like probably like honestly, I've said it before. It might be my favorite international tournament over Olympics.
Yes,
Especially just within
honestly, same.
recent history, because we've had all this stuff with like NHL players not being able to go to the Olympics and
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't know if you saw recently, but there's some stuff with the arena.
Yeah, no, the rink's too small.
The rink's too small
Yeah.
or something, and it's like behind schedule, so there's a chance NHL players don't go again this year.
Yeah, which that will be. I feel like that would just ruin all the hype for hockey at the Olympics
Exactly.
as well, especially this year. Yeah, because that's really hard for me, especially with Team Canada. You think of Team Canada recently, you think of Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, like all these big superstar names that everyone knows and loves, and to think of them not at the Olympics kind of breaks my heart a little bit.
I know, and especially because at the 2022 Olympics, again, like the players were gonna go play, but then they didn't because of COVID.
Yeah,
So that would be
exactly.
like 2 straight Olympics where like everybody's super excited, like pumping out Olympic projected rosters, and then all of a sudden like they can't play.
Yeah, it just
like
all
obviously
crashes
it's not confirmed that they're not gonna be able to play, but I'm still
Yeah.
optimistic they are. They're gonna figure out a way, just because the players want to play.
Yeah, no,
They want to go.
I think, and that is a big point to make, that it's not confirmed that they're not going. But
It's just a bit of a scare.
yeah, no, and it is definitely concerning as well, because it's hard to think of the Olympics without the NHL players,
Exactly.
I think, as well. But yeah, anyway, we are getting ready to hop straight into our music spotlight.
You're listening to CMRU.ca by students for you.
Alrighty, so today's music spotlight is an absolute classic from a legend in the music industry, and a regular song in most arenas across Canada and the States. Of course, it's the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, with Crazy Train, right here on CMRU.ca.
Tune in to CMRU Radio. Student-made shows with enthusiastic hosts.
Playing a huge selection of genres for every music lover in your life.
All music, all week, all day long.
CMRU.ca by students for you.
Alrighty, we are back. That was Ozzy Osbourne with Crazy Train on CMRU.ca. I just wanted to quickly jump back to the NHL here. I know we were talking quite a bit about World Juniors earlier. Jesper Wallstedt got his 5th shutout against the Oilers the other day. The guy's had an incredible season, so I just wanted to talk about him briefly before we jump into some of our other stuff. But I think, like, the guy's had an incredible season.
Oh, I know, and he's a young guy too. Like he was kind of projected to be, I think, definitely like a really good NHL goaltender, and I think now he's like just really like hitting that stride. It's really good for Minnesota, obviously too. Like they have some good goaltenders, like so. Yeah, I hope it works out for them. I hope he continues it. I hope he like continues to progress.
Yeah.
And obviously that's nice he got against the Oilers too.
Yeah, exactly. And I just picked him up in fantasy as well.
Did you?
So
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that, because I've had the worst luck with goalies, and it's been the same. It was the same last year. I was kind of known in my league last year for having the worst luck with goalies. Doesn't matter which goalie I would pick up.
Yeah,
I would just
suck.
put some sort of curse over them. They would be
Yeah.
having the best season ever, and then just nothing. And it started again the same at the start of this year, in our league as well. I don't remember. I know I have Logan Thompson. I drafted him, so I've kept him this whole time. And then I also drafted Gustafsson, and then I dropped him for Jacob Dobesh, who at the time was averaging 8 points a game.
Oh wow. Okay.
After that, his best game was negative 3.2, and I had him for like 8 games, adding multiple games lower than negative 8.
Shoot.
So I was like, oh man, this curse is just coming straight back again. But then I picked up Wallstedt, and he went and got 11 points, and that was going to kind of lead us into our next segment as well. We're playing each other in fantasy this week.
We are, dude.
We are. That day that he also shut out the Oilers was the second day of the week, and I may or may not and pulled 53 points.
No, I saw
in
that.
one
I'm like,
day.
well, how the heck
It
does
was
Ryan have
ridiculous.
this many points right now?
Yeah, and then
and then I looked at your
it's been-
goaltender. I'm like, okay.
It's been a little bit slow since then, but like right now I'm sitting at 102. You're sitting at 62.
It's still 102 though, like on Fridays.
It's quite a bit. And now thinking about it, I haven't set my line, so I'm gonna do this as I talk, so I don't lose out massively to you today. But yeah, I think this week has been an interesting one for sure. I think
I just have so many injuries right now, dude.
Yeah, you do. You're full. You have your IR full. I have 2 on my IR, but one's day to day.
Yeah. And like right now, like obviously Hellebuck was put on the IR. Which really
that's
hurt
the
me.
big one for you.
That hurt me. And then,
when did you draft him?
That's a good question.
Did you draft him first round?
I don't think he was first round. I want to say.
Oh no, it was 3rd overall.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, because you auto drafted, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been interesting for sure. And now of course you got Vasilevsky day to day as well.
I just saw that too. I'm like, oh my goodness. So.
Yeah.
Because I started off, I'm like, man, my goaltenders are so good.
Yeah, you
and now they're injured.
And Hellebuck. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And of course, Coronado had a great game last night too. He had like 4.9 points.
Yeah.
I just saw. So I've had a good week. Let's just say that.
You've had a really good. I've been unlucky with like playing.
Yeah.
You're probably the highest scorer right now.
Oh yeah, no, I am by about 30 points.
Yeah.
I think it's just because of that 50-point day.
Yeah.
With Wallstedt, because I think Wallstedt and Thompson had combined like 20 points or something like that. And then Draisaitl went off too.
Wait, did you have Logan Cooley too when he had like?
No, I didn't. He was a free agent.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, and then he got picked up right after I went to go get him too, which was really disappointing because man, that was it's like a 12-point day or whatever.
Yeah, because he had 4 goals. I was like,
oh
my
yeah,
goodness, like what the heck?
Like, you never see that.
I went back to watch the highlights though for that game, and then I realized 2 of his goals were empty netters.
Yeah,
which I mean, it's still impressive. Like 4 goals is 4 goals, but I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, I mean for fantasy though, you don't care as long as he's scoring.
Points are points. So
exactly, yeah. And another thing about Jesper Wallstedt as well, he's ranked number 1 in fantasy points for the goalies.
Wow.
Like,
yeah,
that's incredible. I mean, he started the season as a backup, but now he's kind of doing 50-50 with Gustafsson. Thankfully, he didn't play last night against the Flames because we just rolled Minnesota last night.
I wonder if he played though, if they would have won.
Yeah, honestly, probably.
Did they have a back-to-back? Like, do they play today or did they play like
I think
yesterday?
I'm trying to remember. They might have had a back-to-back. No, it would have been Tuesday that he played, so it wasn't a back-to-back. So I don't think they're playing today. Because I know Utah has a back-to-back. They're playing in Vancouver today and then here tomorrow because I'm going to that game tomorrow.
That's a fun game to go to.
Yeah, no. And, like, I mean, for me last year I went to quite a few games. I was kind of going to averaging about 1 a month. Mm-hmm. But this year, like, we're not a great team. Like, there's no big spark or anything like that. There's no point. Like, this year I kind of picked out from the schedule, like, 2 games I really want to go to, and this was one of them. And I was able to get student rush tickets, so I got 2 tickets lower bowl for $50. So
wow, that's awesome.
It's awesome deals we got out here at MRU, and UFC's got the same thing. Speaking of UFC, Cougars recap from last weekend. Of course, we had I like to call it the semi-mini Crowchild Classic because it's the second time we've played them this year. Yeah. So for those who don't understand that, who are listening in, so MRU and UFC, of course, the rivalry of Calgary in U Sports, is mainly headed by the hockey teams, and it's this huge rivalry, and we play a couple times a year against each other over the weekends, and then the final time we play them every year is always at the Saddle Dome.
Yes.
So you get fans, you pack the dome, you bring everyone in, tickets are like $5 a piece.
They can sit wherever they want.
Yeah, it's a crazy atmosphere.
Yeah.
And of course it's this massive rivalry for the Battle of Calgary.
Yeah.
And UFC, both teams have been really, really solid this year. And I was going into it looking like, oh man, I don't know how, like, this is not going to be a good year for us playing UFC. Like, it's essentially like I thought it would be watching the Flames play the Oilers right now.
Yeah.
Which, barring the last time we did play the Oilers, we won.
Yeah, right.
But if you look at it on paper, it's like, oh man, I don't know, like, this UFC, especially their men's team, like, is such a solid team. Like, they're going into the last weekend, they were the best team in the country.
Yeah.
In all of U Sports. And so I ended up going to both men's games. So the women and the men both played, but essentially the men played on Friday at home here at FCA, while the women played up at UFC, and then they swapped for Saturday. So I went up to UFC on Saturday to watch the men play. The game on Friday, the men's game, might have been one of the greatest games of hockey I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Just because it was so close. Like, Both goalies were playing incredible. Keep in mind, we don't have our starting goalie back yet. Shane Farkas is still out. We're playing Ethan Bonaventura, who has been quite solid for us. He got the start in both games. He was so good all weekend, and he's a rookie as well, so keep that in mind.
Did he play in the WHL?
Yeah, I believe he did, Bono, yeah. And both goalies were incredible. I don't remember the UFC goalie's name, but he had some of the most ridiculous saves I've ever seen in my life, I think, going into that third period on Friday. And just, it was all MRU in the first half of the third period. And, like, we rang the post 4 or 5 times. Like, this guy was making diving saves, like, fully stretched out, like, windmill, glove saves, everything for the first 10 minutes. UFC walks down and scores with 6 minutes left. I'm like, oh, man, we're not. Like, it makes it 3-2. Like, oh, man, that's going to be it, isn't it? Like, I don't know how. I really don't know how we're going to come back from this just because he'd been so solid. And then we tied it with 2 minutes left.
Unbelievable. Man,
this game was just so electric. And unfortunately, we did end up losing in a shootout because realistically, this UFC superstar goalie, like, this guy was incredible. Like, going into the shootout, I'm like, I love Bono, but he's a rookie. Like, he doesn't have a ton of experience. This guy is incredible. I mean, Bush scored first, and then so we went out 1-0 after the first round of the shootout, and then unfortunately lost. But one of the greatest games of hockey I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I think. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was phenomenal. Like, up there with gold medal game for Four Nations last year.
That's crazy.
Like, man, it was a packed barn at FCA too, which, I mean, packed barn at FCA isn't huge just because it's the one side of stands. But it was so electric. It was kind of 50-50 too, or probably 60-40 MRU fans. Just because it's so easy to just rip down Crowchild.
Exactly, right?
For the UFC fans. And then, of course, the men's team went up to UFC on Saturday and just ripped them apart. Yeah. Like, piece by piece, same goalie. We got him pulled after 2 periods. We won 6-2. Josh Tarswell got a hat trick. Don't know where that came from because Tarzy, he's been good, but that was just kind of completely out of the blue. Like, he's playing second, third line this year. You don't generally see a second, third lineman out of the blue just go and pull a hat trick. And he was phenomenal in the playoffs last year, but he struggled a little bit this year. And he just comes out of nowhere, snipes 3. Like, Justin Lee's had a goal. Like, oh, man, we were just crushing them. Ethan was on his A game. Like, the vibes were so high. I was lucky enough at Father David Bauer, which is the UFC arena. It's all around, essentially, minus one side behind the net. So I was lucky enough to go and sit literally pretty much right on the Cougars bench. Nice. And we were there the whole time with the boys. We had a whole bunch of us. Oh, it was so electric.
That's
just
awesome.
To go and tear apart the best team in the country in their own barn, let alone a rival team. Like, this rivalry, I wouldn't say it's quite up there with BOA, Battle of Alberta, but it's not far. It's probably the biggest rivalry in U Sports, I'd say.
For U Sports hockey, that's like a huge rivalry. Like, it's insane. So.
Yeah, it's essentially the Queens versus Western, but in hockey instead of football. Like, this is a huge, huge deal for us. So that was a huge win. That was a 6-2 win. Bonaventura had a phenomenal game. He was playing out of his mind. I think Ethan Bonaventura, he's going to be one to watch. I think he's really now settled in as our starter while Farkas is still out. So I think we could still see him starting again this weekend. I think unless he gets blown out tonight, I think he will start both games this weekend for sure. And unfortunately, we still don't have a timeline on Farkas coming back, which is quite disappointing. But it looks like our men's team seemed to have found a bit of a groove.
That's good.
That we're working with. We're playing Manitoba this weekend. They're 6-7-0. So, yeah, I think it will be interesting. So our women's team, though, this weekend, they swept. They swept them. And this, keep in mind, this is going into this a higher rated UFC team that everyone predicted to win. Our women's team I would say they had a better chance to win games than our men's team did going into it, predictions wise and standings wise and stats wise. I did not expect a sweep.
No,
because I unfortunately didn't see much of the games. I watched a little bit in the intermissions of the men's games because they were on CBC. But I think our women's team just played phenomenal. And this is just the perfect setup, I think, for us, for Crowchild, just to keep that momentum.
Exactly.
Win again this weekend. If we can win out, sweep this weekend, especially with our men's team, because our women's team, they got the momentum. They've been solid all year. Our men's team's just been kind of 50-50 on Fridays and Saturdays. And now they're sitting at a record of just over 500 just because they did sweep that one weekend against Regina a couple weeks ago. And I think if they can win out this weekend and sweep, they're going to have so much momentum going into the break over Christmas, going into finals, going over their break, Christmas. They're going to come back, and I think they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Oh, for sure.
But looking into the playoff picture now, it is an interesting one because essentially there's 2 divisions in Canada West, and they are different between men's and women's, which I find is a little bit weird. But essentially, so the top 3 go from each division. And so as it stands right now, the number 1 team in each division gets the bye through to round 2, through to the conference finals. So, and then the other 2 will face off with the number 2 team hosting, which is what we had last year with our men's team. Our men's team hosted U of A. Phenomenal series, went to 3 games. We won it, and then went and played Sask, who's the number 1 team. As it stands right now, I'm going to say as of right now, I don't think any games have started yet today. Round 1, MRU would host Sask, who we lost the Canada West final to last year. Of course, we had the bye last year in round 1, and then we hosted round 2 in the conference finals against U of A, won that. We would host Sask round 1.
Okay.
And then round 2, UFC will host the winner of that for the conference finals. And then they'll go off and play whoever wins the other division, wherever that might be. But the fact that we could have MRU hosting Sask and then MRU UFC, especially with our men's team. Our women's team, the rivalry is there, but the men's team is just another level now.
Yeah.
I think the women's team, they got about the same amount of rivalry as they do with the Golden Bears up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
The rivalry is absolutely huge for the men's team. So the fact that we could, if they win round 1 and go, because it's not just going to be UFC fans there too. Like, we're going to get a whole bunch of people. We're going to round them up to UFC and bring the noise for our team, because that will be absolutely electric.
It would,
I think that will be like, I mean, the dream scenario, of course, is MRU wins the division and then we just host everything and host finals and whatnot. But realistically, looking at it right now and UFC's schedule, they're winning the division. I think unless something drastic happens, they lose all of their star players and their starting goalie, UFC is going to win the division. It would just be absolutely awesome if we got to host round 1 and then go and watch round 2 as well in the same city.
Yeah.
That'll be so much fun. As for our women's team, we're leading the division.
Nice.
So as of right now, we're leading by 2 points to UFC. So we were 1-2 going into last weekend. We swept out. So now we lead the division. And then UFC would host Sask, and then MRU would host the winner of those 2. So once again, electric. We could go see, potentially either way, whether it's men's or women's, round 1, 2, 3, MRU, UFC, I would love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
The rivalry would just be incredible because they're such equal teams. Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun. I think the playoffs this year, Canada West playoffs, and hopefully we can make a run at nationals as well. I'm hoping. So moving into Olympic talk now, we kind of discussed it a little bit earlier with the rink issues, and I do have the actual dimensions of the rink. I believe I sent it to you. Let me just pull it up. Yeah. So just for those who don't know off the top of their head, an Olympic rink is 100 feet. An NHL rink is 85 feet, and the current rink they have in Milan right now is 83 or 85.3. Actually, yeah, no, I did read that wrong earlier. Wow, I really am blind. So it is 0.3 feet bigger than an NHL rink.
Yeah.
But quite a bit smaller than an Olympic rink, which honestly could play into the hands of the NHL players.
Yeah.
Just because it is a smaller rink, they're going to know the bounces a little bit better, that kind of stuff as well. I don't know how much that goes through a hockey player's head.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, because I feel like we're just being a little bit over dramatic with it.
Yeah, is it supposed to be 100 feet?
It is. I think it was supposed to be. I don't know what happened with construction. Because I really don't know how you mess it up that badly.
That's what I mean.
Like a couple, a foot or two, a little bit more understandable, but that's quite some margin.
Yeah,
it's 14.7 feet.
Yeah.
It's quite some margin for sure. So I just don't really know how they managed to do that, to be completely honest with you.
And they're also behind schedule.
They are.
For construction.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not good. But I also do feel like a lot of the times constructions are a little bit
Yeah, no,
behind
construction
schedule.
always gets delayed, whether it's an NHL rink or
Or anything,
a house.
right?
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know the last time I've seen a construction project end on time.
Exactly.
Like, so it's to be expected, but they are running out of time to finish that.
I
Like,
do
you're
think-
really in crunch time now.
I think it's a lot of just like the media trying to like spark some stuff up a
Yeah.
lot of the time, because I think you obviously, when it's like a big kind of construction like this, it's going to be magnified.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
I think when it's all said and done, like we said, there's a chance maybe, NHL players don't go. I still do think they will.
Yeah.
It's just probably the media does their thing, right? They do
Yeah.
their thing.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to NHL players as well, like, they're going to want to go.
Exactly.
Is the thing. Like, it's the Olympics. It's the chance to fight for your country, like, essentially,
Exactly.
and in the sport that you love. Like, it's not every day you get an opportunity like that. Of course, you got World Juniors and whatnot coming into the league, but once you're done World Juniors, realistically, like, you don't get many opportunities to go and play for your country on a national stage.
right?
So, yeah.
And they also did like we were talking out there. They already announced like 6 players for each like nation to play.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
would just be weird for them to be like, okay, yeah, no,
Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would be. I think they will go. Honestly,
too.
like, it might not be every player that we expected will go. You might miss one or two, medium-sized names, but
Yeah.
realistically, like, I just don't see how they wouldn't want to go
No, exactly.
unless there's some other sort of conflict, like some family conflict or
Yeah.
something like that. That makes a little bit more sense, but just not wanting to go because of a rink being 14.7 feet too small or whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see it.
And like the players, they have a lot of like saying this kind of stuff too. Like, it's not just fully up to the league. Like, players have a voice too.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think they're not concerned. I don't think really by the size. Like, that's not going to be something where they're like, oh no, we don't want to play now because
No.
it's not the right size. So I think even if like the league was like worst case scenario, they're like, we don't really want you to go. I think the players would advocate, be like, let us go.
Yeah.
Like, we're fine with this rink size. Like, it doesn't matter to us. I don't know if they're gonna try to fix the rink size. I don't really know how you would go about that. Just because I feel like they're so
Yeah.
deep into construction now. It's like, how do
You may as well just leave it. Like,
Yeah.
or just shorten it ever so slightly and make it an NHL rink. Like,
Yeah.
that 0.3 is just kind of ugly to me, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know anything about building an NHL rink
neither,
or anything
no.
like that. But I just feel like that 0.3 is something that can be fixed
I agree. Yeah, you
within the
could
next
definitely-
couple months.
Yeah.
Like, you got time. Like, it's what, it's in the second half of February that the Olympics start,
Mhm.
like the round robin starts. It's over our reading break that it starts actually in February.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, realistically, that's enough time to
It
fix
is.
0.3
They could
of a
do it.
foot
Yeah.
of an arena. Like, they don't even have to rebuild anything.
No.
Just move the boards ever so slightly. And
Exactly.
you're good. I think that's at least in my mind. I mean, there can be some people listening on YouTube or whatever saying that these guys are just absolute idiots.
Yeah,
it's not
'cause
that
they're
easy.
big construction guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it works, guys.
But like, for me, I think that is something that's definitely fixable.
Yeah.
Just make it an NHL rink. That
Yeah.
0.3, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I honestly thought that this would take longer, a longer conversation. We still got 2 minutes.
Yeah. I guess Flames hockey. You watched the game yesterday?
Yes, I did watch the game yesterday. I can't say I'm not going to say I watched the full thing. I watched about half of it. I was making dinner at the same time, so it's kind of in and out. But I think we played well. Wolfie had some great saves. Looks like the Dustin Wolf of last year could
Yeah.
potentially be back after a couple games off with Devin Cooley starting.
Cooley's been amazing though. Hey.
Yeah,
He's
Cooley's been great.
Yeah.
Minus the one game in Tampa where he got pulled or
Yeah.
whatever right away.
It's been a good story though, because I remember in preseason he was not having good preseason.
No, he
and
was
there's a bunch of
awful.
talk about
What are we
does
gonna
Calgary
do?
like
Yeah.
do they go out and get another goaltender? And obviously, I was always against that because it's like we're probably not going to be good this year, so just like,
Yeah.
let Cooley be the backup. But he's been really good. He's been a really good backup, and I think it's good for Wolf too, just because it gives him games off. Like, it's not smart to be playing Wolf.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to be playing 70+ games right now when we're like a bottom. Right now, I think we're second last, but we're kind of fluctuating between like last and second last right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you're like legit like the worst team in the league, I don't think you need to be stressing so much on, oh, let's just play our star goaltender like so much. Like, you can play Cooley. He's shown he's capable. I think, get a good split going. They've both earned playing time. So I've been pretty happy with that for sure. That's been something I've been happy with, is how they're utilizing both goaltenders.
Yeah, for sure, and I agree, because it is also kind of nice. Even, Wolf definitely hasn't had the greatest start to the season that we thought he would, but it's also, like, even if he was playing well. It's good that he's not playing every game. Just give him a rest, honestly.
Exactly.
Like, he played a decent chunk last year. There's no reason for him to go out there and play 50 or 60 games this year. Like, there's really no point. Like, if we're a good team, that's a different story, but we're really just not a good team. So, like, just don't get him to play,
tire him out.
Maybe play, I would say play 50 max, honestly, at this point. Like,
no,
split it
I
up
agree
almost
with that.
evenly. Like, give Wolf a little bit more and just give him a rest.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
there's no point in risking the injury.
Exactly.
Honestly, just try and help his development as much as you can. Give him the opportunities, but don't risk it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Anyway, so we got about 10 seconds left. We're going to go slightly over here because I'm going to plug my show.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I have my own podcast I've been doing a couple years now. It's just called the Ryan Clark Podcast. It's on Spotify and Instagram as well. So if you're a big sports fan, I talk about mainly Formula One. Because for those who don't know, I'm a huge Formula One nerd. And so I'm going to talk about that. And if you check out the Instagram as well, I'm going to be posting sometimes later today or tomorrow. Watch parties. Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix championship decider between Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri. This weekend, I'm a diehard Lando Norris fan, and I'll be absolutely devastated if he loses this. So if he does lose it, and you want to see me absolutely devastated and super sad, tune in. And if you just want to see someone else's perspective, tune in anyway. I'll be live on YouTube. The link will be in the bio of that Instagram as well. I'll link that in the description of the YouTube post as well, if anyone is interested in tuning into that this weekend. Of course, it will be very early in the morning our time. Qualifying's at 7 a.m. tomorrow. The race is at 6 a.m. the next day. But it will be a race you don't want to miss. So thank you for letting me plug that. And so this is the last show of the semester.
It is. I know.
I almost don't want to end it. Like,
I know,
this
it
has been
feels
such a
weird.
solid semester for this show.
Yeah.
Like, of course, last year we got it going. It was more of a school project last year, and this is just more for fun for sure.
Yeah.
And it's gone so well. So thank you, of course, to everyone who's tuned in live, everyone who's listening on Spotify and YouTube. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And of course, like, we had a really big day the other day on YouTube as well. We got like 5,000 views or one
That's
day
awesome.
or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that. So that does truly mean a lot to us. And just keep an eye out on the socials and stuff for the schedule. We will be back next semester.
Yes.
We're planning on having a 2-hour show, so even more content.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to us talk about random hockey stuff, be sure to keep an eye on the socials. Keep an eye on the socials as well for the live streams and a potential behind-the-scenes video that could be coming to you very soon. But anyway, thank you for everyone who has tuned in so far and is still here. And we will see you in a few weeks.
Tune in to CMRU Radio. Student-made shows with enthusiastic hosts.
Playing a huge selection of genres for every music lover in your life.
All music, all week, all day long.
CMRU.ca by students for you.